Hey there, Agile Adventurer. Just a quick question. What if, for the price of a fancy coffee or half a pizza, you could unlock over 700 hours of the best Agile content on the planet? That's audio, video, e-courses, books, presentations, all that you can think of. But you can also join live calls with world-class practitioners and hang out in a flame war-free and AI slop-clean Slack with the sharpest minds in the game. Oh, and yes, you get direct access to me, Vasco, your Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. No, this is not a drill. It's the Scrum Master Toolbox membership. And it's your unfair advantage in the Agile world. So if you want to know more, go check out scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. That's scrummastertoolbox.org/membership. And check out all the goodies we have for you. Do it now. But if you're not doing it now, let's listen to the podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Team Tuesday this week with Aliu Adewale. Hey, Aliu, welcome back.
Thank you, Vasco. I'm glad to be back.
So, Aliu, Team Tuesday, of course, is when we talk about teams and how sometimes they become their own worst enemies. But before diving into the team story, share with us, what was the book that most inspired you in your career as a Scrum Master?
It's surprising that the book that inspired me as a Scrum Master is a book that came up on your show. I forgot the name of someone that recommended it. So this statement actually complements what I said earlier about, following your show, your podcast. The title of the book is Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erickson. Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erickson.
Tell me a bit more, like why did this book inspire, like maybe the surprise that you experienced when reading the book or what it triggered in you? Why did you find it so inspiring?
I find it so inspiring because the book, the title on its own is creates a lot of curiosity. And I want to know what is going on in this book, and being in that space, make me to realize okay, let me read this book. And after reading the book, I find out I'm someone that's already embraced emotional intelligence. And that book also had to my emotional intelligence, capability, communication, in terms of communication. And in overall, when you are working in a place where you have to deal with different backgrounds, different people coming together, and our role as the Scrum Master, that's what we actually day to day looks like. So you deal with different personalities, and that book actually tell you to the T how different personalities behave. It might not be 100 over 100, but at least 90 over 100 about personality, people personality, human relation. So that is a value I find from that book. Absolutely.
And learning to understand and accept the different personalities we deal with is so important, pardon me, as Scrum Masters, because we can't change those people. We have to understand them and then figure out how we can transform the messages that we need to deliver in order so that it lands with that person. So awesome. Well, thank you for the recommendation. The link is in the show notes, of course, so you can all go there and check it out. Aliu, now we turn our attention to the teams and how sometimes they can become their own worst enemies. So, Aliu, share with us that story. Tell us about the team, the size and what was going on, what kind of project, and then walk us through those behaviors or patterns that maybe started small but grew and over time became a problem for the team.
I was working with a team a few years ago. I was working with a team where communication gap was their major problem. Communication gap. And I believe every Scrum Master have had one or two bites of that situation before, where you have to deal with senior architect, all the way to senior software developer, all the way to coming from junior developer that don't want to speak up, even if they know what the recommendation on the table from their senior colleague is not the right way to approach stuff. So you have to deal with that communication gap where people don't want to talk or where people don't want to collaborate. Now, you still have to deal with the QAs too, where acceptance criteria is not really clear enough. So we were working on a project where we are supporting a group of customers, collaboration. And at the end of the day, teams were not really communicating. It was huge. And I realized that we have a board, a Jira board, where it segregated everyone tasks, like to do, in progress, dev complete, QA test done, and
documentation, design, back end, front end,
all those things. Like we had close to like 10 columns then. So I realized like, okay, the dev team just wanted to deliver and then forget about it. Whatever the QA want to do with it, that's their problem. Nobody's engaging. During the refinement, everyone are not really collaborating. Daily stand-up looks like everyone just want to be on the call for the sake of being on it. Nobody's really actually contributing. Nobody's calling out anything. When you're working on a team where nobody's calling out anything, everyone is just saying, okay to everything. That's a big communication gap. So I realized, like, how can I do this? I can't find the right way then.
So what were you trying to do? Like, what was the outcome you were hoping for?
My outcome for me as a Scrum Master is to be in a team that's collaborative. Because collaboration is the foundation of everything. If teams are not collaborating, there's no way negotiation will happen. There is no way continuous improvement will happen. Collaboration is the foundation of a successful Scrum team. So collaboration was gap in that team then. And communication were not really flowing back then. Everyone comes in I'm champion of back end. I'm champion of front end. I'm champion. And one thing I later realized based on that experience, moving forward as part of my continuous learning as a Scrum Master then, was if I'm working with any team right now, I always let them understand, like, if you have a PhD badge, master badge, put it outside. In this Scrum team, everyone is equal. We are all equal. So communication gap was the problem back then. Collaboration gap was the problem. Those two are major problems on that team.
I think it's important for us to recognize that this partitioned Kanban boards where like tasks are partitioned by specialty and tickets are passed from people to people with different specialties instead of completing beginning to end in one go. These are symptoms of handoffs. Let's call it handoffs, right? Like I'm the tester, you're the developer, you will do the code, you will commit the code and you get it reviewed, whatever, and then give me the ticket and say, hey, I'm done, it's your turn, right? Mm-hmm. And we know that this is a problem because it delays feedback. And when the tester is finally done with testing those changes, then they will have feedback, and the feedback comes and the developer is in the middle of something else. So we end up having this delayed feedback and then consequences of that delayed feedback, which is basically interruptions, lack of context, and so on. So those are the symptoms. But what you're saying is that the real problem is not that the board was partitioned. I mean, in the end, the board is just a visualization. But that the visualization told you that people were not really trying to get something completed end to end together. They were just kind of doing small pieces and handing it over and then asking you do your part.
In silos.
Okay. And is that a fair way to represent what you just said?
Yes, it's a fair way to represent it. And also the board, how the board being laid out also has its impact on the team as well. So I'm just trying to say, like, sometimes most problem on a team does not really rely on the team on their own. It's rely on the tools we use sometimes too. The foundation of this problem can be from the tools we use. And I noticed at the end of the day that the foundation of that team problem back then was the tools, how we utilize the Kanban board. Because the resolution to that problem was we streamline the board. We from like 9 columns, we reduced it to like 4 columns to do in progress and done. Three columns, sorry, to do in progress and done. And Vasco, do you know what happened?
What happened?
Everything in progress now rely on everybody. QA, back end, front end, senior architect, junior architect. Everyone has to communicate to each other. They have to talk because everything is in progress. And if we have stakeholders on the call that want to know what is going on, everyone have to communicate what is going on with a particular ticket. That way, a senior developer, we actually have a conversation with a QA. A QA wants to know, like, when is this ticket going to be ready for me? Because there is no column on the board to say, oh, it's in QA now, so it's your turn to work on this. So everything stays in progress. So everyone have to talk about that ticket. If one ticket is in progress, that means that ticket must lies between developer, QA, senior architect, front end, back end. So everyone have to communicate. Everyone have to chat with each other. Like, oh, what you got going on? When am I going to get this? Oh, tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. If that is not being delivered to the person, you want to ask question like, okay, you said I'm going to get this tomorrow. What's going on? What's happened? Compared to before, the state we were before, where if something is in my column, which is QA testing, let's assume I'm a QA test, I know like, okay, this is for me now. I need to pick it up. But when we streamline the board, the tools we use then, when we streamline the tools, we realize our team started communicating, collaborating, because they had no choice then.
This is so interesting, exactly as you said, because they had no choice. So in fact, by creating a problem, we solved the bigger problem, right? Like the problem that I mean is by creating the problem of quote unquote hiding status. It's not really, because you can have a lot of status, even if it's only one column, but let's forget that for a second. By hiding status, you required everyone to talk to each other, to coordinate, to synchronize, and that sparked collaboration.
Absolutely. And it's created more of like, okay, don't let us focus on the tools. Let's focus on how people interact, just like the agile values, individual and interactions over processes and tools. We want to focus on how people actually work together, because these are people that comes from different backgrounds, right? You put them together, or it's so easy for team to say, this is my own part. I'm done. I push it to you. Do your own part. Whatever happens, no blame on me. Now you're putting them together to actually have a conversation, to work together. That's like peer programming, right? Where people have to deal with each other, learn from each other. A QA can interact with the back-end developer. They have to communicate. They have to like do things together, because this ticket is in progress. Leadership wants to know where it is right now. And to know that, everyone have to participate. Everyone have to communicate, collaborate. And doing that then help the team to actually, like solve the problem of communication gap and collaboration gap, because everyone have to talk.
Absolutely. And that it's so interesting, because it's that perhaps counterintuitive reduction of granularity of information that creates the need for people to talk, to coordinate, and therefore also collaborate. That was a great story. Thank you for sharing that, Aliu.
Thank you so much, Vasco.
All right, I hope you liked this episode. But before you hit next episode, here's the deal. This podcast is powered by people like you, the members who wanted more than just inspiration. They wanted real tools and real connection to people who are practicing Agile every day. We're talking access to over 700 hours of Agile Gold, CTO level strategy talks, summit keynotes, live workshops, e-courses, deep dive interviews, books, and if you're into no estimates, we got the pioneers of no estimates in those deep dive interviews as well. Agile business intelligence, creating product visions, coaching your product owner courses, you name it. You'll get invites to monthly live Q&As with Agile pioneers and practitioners, plus a private Slack community, which is free of all of that AI slop you see everywhere, and of course, without the flame wars. It's a community of practitioners that want to learn and thrive together. It's the best place to connect with community and learn together. So if this podcast has helped you before, imagine what you will get from this podcast membership. So head on over to scrummastertoolbox.org/membership and join the community that's shaping the future of Agile. And we have so much for you. So check out all the details at scrummastertoolbox.org/membership, because listening is great, it's important, but doing it together, that's next level. I'll see you in the community Slack. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.